Welcome to an abbreviated 4th of July episode of About Mansfield, your audio newspaper. I'm Steve Casillo, going solo today with the July 5th, 2023 180th edition, always broadcasting from the Cellmark Studios. Coming up today, it's Mansfield News and Talk. Stories we're covering this week include Mansfield ISD School Board approves pay raises for teachers and staff, while also approving a new library book policy. And local brewery poised for their 6th anniversary celebration with a specially made brew. And in the talk segment, I will talk in studio with magician and mind-blowing mind reader Braden Daniels. We are Mansfield's only source for news, talk, and information. This is About Mansfield.
Hi, this is Paul Duncan with Trinity Roofing and Construction. There are over 7,500 roofers in the North Texas area, and when a major hailstorm blows through town, that number skyrockets with companies as far away as Montana. In the planning stages of re-roofing your home, it's normal for customers to ask questions such as, where are they based out of and how many years experience do they have roofing in North Texas? Trinity Roofing and Construction can answer each of these questions with confidence. As a family-owned, Mansfield-based business since 2011, Trinity Roofing and Construction recently received a Product Excellence Award by Owens Corning and are a Platinum Preferred Contractor with Owens Corning. Contact us today for a free, no-obligation video roof inspection. Rated A+ with the Better Business Bureau, Trinity Roofing and Construction. A Mansfield company, not only replacing roofs, but building relationships. Find us on the web at trinityroofingconstruction.com. That's trinityroofingconstruction.com.
Hey, it's Steve Casillo. I want to take a second to tell you about Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio 3.0. It's where we record and produce the About Mansfield podcast episodes. What started out as an audio-only studio, Podcast Mansfield is now a full-service audio and video recording studio, complete with custom green screen backgrounds, 2 high-definition cameras, editing, mixing, and mastering capabilities, and we can also help market your podcast. Podcast Mansfield is home to such great locally produced shows, such as Wealth Building Made Simple, We Are TPM, and Wealth Think Tank Television, just to name a few. So whether you're a hands-on person or just need a place to record your podcast or need advice from concept to completion, Podcast Mansfield is here to help. Conveniently located on Heritage Parkway, just off of 287 right here in Mansfield, mention the About Mansfield podcast, and you get to record your first episode at no charge. For more information on starting your podcast, or if you're looking for a better place to record, Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio can be found on the internet at podcastmansfield.com.
No matter your familiarity with buying or selling real estate, having an experienced, trusted advisor on speed dial is priceless. The Roger and Beth team of Century 21 Judge Fight is here to be that resource for you. Whether you're buying right here in Mansfield or your dreams are taking you elsewhere, we are ready to help you with turning that vision into a reality. To learn more, visit our website at homesinmansfield.com. That's homesinmansfield.com.
Hi, I'm Orion Jean with Race to Kindness, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to About Mansfield. This portion of the news is brought to you by Trinity Roofing and Construction. Mansfield ISD's Board of Trustees approved the 23-24 budget at its regular meeting Tuesday, June 27th. The budget adoption includes the following salary increases for employees. That would include a 4% increase for teachers, librarians, and nurses, along with recommended pay adjustments. All other employees will receive an increase of 4% of their pay grade's midpoint. Minimum hourly wage will increase to $15 per hour, and the starting teacher pay will increase to $63,000 per year. Just minutes later, the school board unanimously approved a revised, watered-down book ban policy that drew praise from most of the opponents, as LGBTQ-themed and authored books, as well as terms like gender fluidity, were removed from the district's upgraded policy. But in the end, the opponents were not happy with the fact that there's a book ban at all, including school librarian Jennifer Reich, who addressed the school board during citizen comments, announcing that she is quitting her job, blaming the board's harsh book policy that was first unveiled during a called meeting on May 16th. The revised version calls on a 13-member committee, including 7 residents appointed by board members, to read and evaluate a book questioned by anyone in Mansfield. Under the original policy draft, no one aside from district staff reviewed questionable materials. If you're looking for something to do this weekend, chances are pretty good there's something going on in downtown Mansfield. Well, this coming Saturday, July 8th, is no different. You can help Dirty Job Brewing celebrate its 6th anniversary, or as owner Derek Hubenak calls it, their 6th birthday. Joining us on the phone to talk about the birthday is the aforementioned Derek Hubenak. Welcome back to About Mansfield.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
And happy birthday.
Instead of blowing out candles, we blow foam off the tops of pints.
So it's been fun watching Dirty Job grow over the years. What was really a small town brewery to a full service restaurant.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And what we got that fork in the road at one point where we were going to either become a brewery that all we're going to do is just put our cans out in the marketplace, or what are we going to do? We're going to change and add food and become a brew pub and have the full kitchen so we can serve the community and grow in that aspect. And it's been amazing. The community has been there for us to support us. That's why we're here after coming up on 6 years.
It's been 6 years. And what's been the hardest part of the 6-year journey?
Oh, I would say the hardest part initially was making that decision. You know, what are we going to do? Do we want to send beer cans out around the area into the grocery stores with, the name Mansfield, Texas on it? Or do we want to serve the immediate community and provide another eatery in historic downtown Mansfield? And that was a tough decision, but I think we made the right one, made a good call. And now our current hard decision is, how do we grow? Where do we go? It's up from here, and we're busting at the seams.
Ooh, maybe a Dirty Job 2.
Possible.
I would have thought that the hardest part of the 6-year journey would have been surviving through the pandemic.
It wasn't, honestly, where most places it was difficult for them. We were worried about it, of course, with the shutdowns. But when we decided we made the decision to do the grocery run for folks in the community that couldn't get out and get groceries, go through our vendors to get the groceries for them.
Yeah. People
saw that and immediately, they saw what we were doing and they were like, well, wow, that's awesome. It's a great service. So while we're at it, why don't we order some pizzas while we're here? Let me get some, 4-packs to go. So, and then when the governor opened the places back up and we could start having the community come back in, full on support, and it hasn't stopped yet. That's the way we were able to survive. We were able to survive because the community gave back to us, and that's just amazing.
I know that with all of your special events, that the big anniversary events that you have each year, you usually have some type of special brew. Do you have any special brews coming up this year?
We do. We have a secret. It'll be released next week. A new brew that's coming out. And then we also have a partnership with the Bourbon Gospel guys. Ron McCraney, Hugh Hunton, Brian Certain, they have the Bourbon Gospel. We've been aging our All the Fun American Blonde Ale in 2 of their bourbon barrels. And we're going to be releasing that, our first bourbon barrel release in probably 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, we had Brian and the rest of the Bourbon Gospel guys here in the studio. They were on the show just last week, and they talked about the partnership that they have with Dirty Job Brewing and the OMG Blonde.
They're calling it the Menage a Blonde. They figure that two blonde bourbons in our blonde beer. So clever.
Aside from food and beer, what are some of the other special events that are hosted at the brewery?
Well, just for the birthday, we're having a car and motorcycle show. We're having a cornhole tournament, and we'll have specials all day. But typically, we have every Friday night, we have Brews and Brains trivia every Friday night. And on Saturday, we have Lyrics and Spirits. It's our karaoke every Saturday night. Both of those start about 7 p.m. and go till close around 11 p.m. And it's free to play. It's free to sing. And it's just lots of fun. And we're working right now with a couple local comedians about having Thursday open mic nights. And so that'll be another thing we add on.
Hey, tell the listeners how they can find the 6th birthday, location, hours, contact information. Go for it.
DirtyJobBrewing.com. And any social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you can reach us and just look up Dirty Job Brewing on any of those social medias, or you can give us a call, 682-518-1791, or walk on in to 117 North Main Street in beautiful, historic downtown Mansfield.
The 6th birthday, which is Saturday, July 8th. What time do you open?
We will be opening, yoga starts at 10 a.m. if you want to sign up for the yoga, beer and yoga, and then the doors open at 12 p.m.
And you close whenever you kick them out?
We're store hours say 11 p.m. that are posted, but if we have some friends and family hanging around and want to have a little bit more fun, we might stay open till midnight.
Derek, we'll see you Saturday, July 8th, and again, happy 6th birthday to Dirty Job Brewing.
Yes, come join us for our 6-pack, Steve.
Coming up after the break, we switch from news to talk with our conversation with magician and mind reader Braden Daniels. Stay with us. This portion of the news was brought to you by Trinity Roofing and Construction.
The housing market is evolving as interest rates rise to meet inflation. Speculation abounds as to what the future may hold. Do you have a trusted advisor? The Roger and Beth team at Century 21 Judge Fight should be your first call in all matters concerning real estate and the market. We specialize in residential real estate for both buyers and sellers. With industry partners across North America, our resources and expertise can turn the home you've been envisioning into a reality. Visit our website at homesandmansfield.com to learn more. That's homesandmansfield.com.
I'm Philip Washington, Chief Investment Officer of Stonehill Wealth Management and host of the Wealth Building Made Simple podcast. First book I read in college was Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it changed my life. And since then, I've read tons and tons of books on money. And what I've done is taken those lessons, simplified them, and I talk about those lessons on my podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple. So come hang out with us. We're on every major platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube, Wealth Building Made Simple.
At Methodist Mansfield Medical Center, we've been caring for our home team for over 15 years. Today, you'll find award-winning physicians on the medical staff, advanced neurosurgery, a level 3 trauma center, critical care for newborns, and comprehensive orthopedic care. Methodist Mansfield, delivering the care our friends, neighbors, and home team depend on. That's community, and why so many people trust Methodist.
Hi, this is Joe Jenkins with Joe Jenkins Farmers Insurance, specializing in auto, home, commercial, and life insurance. I was born and raised here in Mansfield, Texas. We're active in the community, and Mansfield's a town we really care about. Our office has over 30 years experience in the insurance industry, and we're passionate about what we do and about customer service. For a free quote, please visit our website at joejenkinsinsurance.com or give us a call at 817-472-6058. Once again, that website is joejenkinsinsurance.com.
Hi, I'm Casey Lewis, and you're listening to About Mansfield.
Welcome back to another segment of About Mansfield. I'm Steve Casillo as we make the transition from news to talk. And you've seen his name. You've seen his name up on the billboard on Main Street, that billboard being the Farbest Theater. That would be the marquee for the Farbest Theater. You've seen his name around town. His name is Braden Daniels. He is sitting here in the studio today. We're about to find out who Braden Daniels is. Welcome to About Mansfield.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. Been listening to the show and really appreciate all you do for the Mansfield community.
The first question is, what are you doing to beat the heat?
I am taking several laps in my pool for sure, and then air conditioning. I think that's what we're doing.
Laps in the pool and air conditioning. But we're not here to talk about AC and the heat. You are a magician. You are a mind reader. You are a mystical, magical wizard of a kind of guy. We're going to actually find out who Braden Daniels is. First of all, you don't have a drawl in your voice, so you weren't born in Texas, is my guess.
That's correct. I'm from upstate northern New York, and I moved to Texas, probably about 10 years ago. Okay,
upstate. So I'm thinking Syracuse, Buffalo. Where are you from?
Up that way, Watertown, New York areas is, there's lots of small towns in that neck of the woods, so that's where I come from.
What brought you to Texas?
Yeah, so I came to Texas due to a job promotion that was opening up to cover the South Central United States for the company that I work for, and I came down here and started and moved in and started managing a team down here. Okay, and what line, or you don't have to talk about specifically the name of the company. What type of work were you? Oh, yeah. No, we work in pet food. Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, lots of listeners have pets out there, and basically, you love them like family, feed them like family. That's our motto. And pets are a big deal to people and in people's lives. The companionship is real that they provide.
It's $1 billion industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully you are reaping the rewards of that $1 billion industry.
Yes, we are effectively helping out lots of pet parents all across the United States. So we're very pleased with that.
Here in Texas, you have started a podcast regarding leadership.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about this podcast, because you, again, in my mind, the only thing I know about Braden Daniels is what I've seen on that marquee, that it's a magic show and you're a mind reader, but you also do leadership training.
Absolutely. And it's called Lead Like a Magician. I do corporate speaking where we combine magic, mind reading with some education. And so we offer leadership edutainment to companies, businesses, organizations. And I help personally one-on-one mentor other leaders, much like the sorcerer and the apprentice. I help leaders learn the mystical art of leadership. And so, we have a podcast called Lead Like a Magician, and the first episode will be debuting very soon. And I'm excited about that because we'll get this knowledge and education out to more and more people. So that excites me.
How long have you been doing that?
Lead Like a Magician, I've been doing for the last 3 years.
Okay, and it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely, it is.
What do you find is the number one mistake that CEOs are making out in the world?
There are many mistakes. It really depends on what type of industry they're in and what the company culture's like. And most of the time, the number one failure is at that level is communication and not communicating not only what the vision is for the company down to the most important member of your team, which are the people who are dealing directly with the customers and the consumers, but also looking at the workforce by and large that they have as a line item sheet on a budgeting Excel sheet. So really getting to know and understand your employees and be a human being with everyone that you possibly can and have that human touch, I think is a big thing that continues to be missed. You
threw out a stat on one of your podcasts that was, in my mind, was staggering. And it was, let's see if I can get this right. 70% of CEOs out there have never had leadership training. Yeah. So 70% of leaders have had no leadership training. That's absolutely correct. And if you think about, the business has cycles, industries go up and down, and there's a whole lot of people moving careers, transitioning. There's new people coming into the workforce, and there's just a lot of demand on business. And a lot of times the training for their leadership falls by the wayside. It's just not available. So many leaders who are in management roles today have had no leadership training. So it's a real critical component to the overall business mix. And it's something that we love to do and love to talk about. For example, I was brought into Dallas College to do a Lead Like a Magician keynote and workshop where we combined magic and really healthy engagement on these key leadership principles like communication, discipline, mentorship, and really train folks on how to really show up in the workplace for the better. And you include magic in these leadership trainings. How long have you been a magician? So I've had an interest in magic since I was young, and then I got away from that and went into the corporate world, as we've discussed. Yeah. And it really was about 2017, I had kind of an epiphany where I was doing magic for a friend, and he had said to me, "You're good at it," which was great for my ego. But he said, but I can tell you love it. Yeah. And there's things in our lives that
when we do something and we don't always have that reflected back to us. That was really a gift for me to have somebody reflect back and say, wow, you really love it. And the light bulb that went on, Steve, was I love it and I don't do it often enough. And so that led me into thinking about, hey, I could do this when I retire, which then led me into, I can't wait till I retire to be successful. So then it led me into this whole path of going in and becoming a magician, a mind reader. I train at one of the foremost schools in the world for magic and mind reading in the mystery arts. It's called Jeff McBride's Magic and Mystery School. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
They have the preeminent instructors who really are out there doing what I aspire to do. So
You chased what you loved.
Exactly.
And I saw this actually just a few days ago on Facebook. Someone had posted, what's the greatest piece of advice you have regarding business? And one of the responses was, do what you love, comma, not love what you do. Love what you do sounds forced. Oh, I love what I do. Versus, I do what I love, which sounds natural.
Yes.
And I tell people that because I'm sitting here in my little playground, I tell people I get to go to work. Whereas most people say, I have to go to work.
Yeah.
I look forward to coming here. I wake up in the morning totally refreshed going, I get to go to work.
Well, and that's an amazing thing. And you may have listeners who are in that boat, and you may have listeners who aren't in that boat, and that's okay. My suggestion would be to definitely put some goals down on paper about how you want to get to the thing that you love if you're not doing that thing that you love, and reach out to me, Braden at BradenDaniels.com. I'd love to talk to you about that because not everyone has that luxury, and it's work, which is the other reason why I like the way the quote is formulated, because it is work to do what you love sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. So you went to Las Vegas. You went through this course to be a better magician. See, I'm a musician. I almost said musician. You went to Vegas, the magician course, the mind reading course. So, and tell me about mind reading, because this is pretty fascinating.
Yeah. So, I mean, mind reading it means a lot of things to a lot of people. For me, I'm known as the thought leader mind reader. And what it means, and especially during our show, I use the power of our minds to create an extraordinary experience. And that is 100% what we do. In the show, we have all sorts of themes to the show. Decision making is a major theme, so I help people with decision making. What I learned mostly from my teachings, and I mentor one-to-one with the world's greatest living magician, and his name is Jeff McBride. Every month I meet with him. What I've learned from him is that magic and the mystery arts, rather than a puzzle to be solved, it's a mystery to be savored, because we don't have great mysteries in our life. Science has helped us a lot with that. And mystery is a very important part of who we are as people and as individuals. But one of the things that Jeff reminds me and teaches me is that magic reminds all of us that reality is subject to change without notice.
And Jeff's been doing this for eons, I would assume.
Yes.
And if someone wanted to see some of Jeff's magic, maybe on YouTube or
Yeah, they could go on YouTube. They could go to the school's website, which is magicalwisdom.com, if they're interested in the mystery arts, and they can learn more about the faculty and the different classes that they have there as well.
The mystery arts, because magic is a mystery. It's the whole sleight of hand. How did you do that? How did you... Let's go all the way back to the basics. How did you pull a rabbit out of the hat?
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
No, I haven't done that. No, I haven't done that. But yeah, magic brings all sorts of people out. We really have a great time at the show. And there are people that are in the audience that are looking to kind of figure things out.
Yeah.
And what I remind people through the course of the show is what you want to really do is go there and enjoy the mystery of it. And there is a point where at about there was just a post on Facebook that I had where a lady had put in. She said, "I'm still trying to figure out how he did it." Now, the last show that I did was back in April, and she may have gone to the one that I did in January, the public show, Brainstorm. But there are people that are looking to figure out, like, how is it done? And I've had people come back again and again, which I love. Bring some friends with you, bring some family.
Sure.
And try to, enjoy the mystery of it, because, magic, mind reading, what we do is there's as much truth in what we do as any other form of art.
Can you read anyone's mind?
I wouldn't say I could read anyone's mind, but I will say that when you come to the Brainstorm show, everyone in the audience has the chance to have their mind read. And they also have the chance to see how well they read my mind.
Ah, okay. Before we started recording this interview, you pulled out a stack of cards. They look like your traditional playing cards, but instead of hearts, jacks, spades, and clubs, it had icons of common things, but every card was different. And you had me pull a card. What was the? Let's talk about. And I pulled a card. I looked at the icon. I put it back in the deck. You put the deck back in your pocket. What's the next step to that?
Well, what I would encourage everyone listening to do is think of an idea. It could be an animal. It could be a plant. It could be a building. It could be a thought. It could be an idea. Take a moment right now as you're listening to this and lock that thought in your mind. And Steve, you've done that as well. So what I'd like you to do is I want you to take this thought and I want you to really, we're going to use our imagination and blow up the thoughts, make it a little more vivid. So if you could, and want everyone here to do the same who's listening, take your thought and imagine a movie that this idea, this thing, maybe it's an animal, maybe it's a famous building, whatever it is, just imagine a movie where that thing is and really play that scene out in your mind. Can you do that for me?
Got it.
Okay.
Mr. Daniels has taken out a Sharpie and he's about to write on the back of a board, a whiteboard. Yeah, he's drawing.
I haven't drawn anything yet.
You haven't drawn anything. It sounded like it.
Yes. That helped me out though.
And he's drawing circles and lines and another circle and another line, and he is vigorously writing and drawing on the back of this whiteboard. It looks like lines and circles. Yes, sir.
Now, I'm not getting the scene from the movie, but can you explain to us what the scene was?
What the scene was. Now, the scene was an engagement, a proposal scene from Sleepless in Seattle.
Wow. And that was with Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan.
And so for the first time out loud, what was the object?
On the card?
That you were thinking of, yes.
A diamond ring. Oh my gosh. He drew a diamond ring on, Wow. Oh, I'm going to go back to that Facebook post and say, how did he do that?
Yes.
Because there must have been 30 to 40 cards, all with different icons in that deck of cards. I did pull the diamond ring, and again, the scene, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if there's a proposal scene in Sleepless in Seattle, but I knew that it was a romantic movie.
But you use your imagination to manufacture, and that's one of the key things that we talk about when it comes to the show Brainstorm, because brainstorm is coming together and bringing people together and generating ideas and collaborating. And that's what we do. And part of that process, if anyone takes anything away from today's interview, it's we take for granted every day our imagination. Mm-hmm. And our imagination pulls from symbols, dreams, all of this to create scenes, to create images. I mean, this is separate from memory even, and this is separate from just decision making. The imaginative faculty that you have is so powerful. So you pulling whatever images you had to make the scene, whether that was a real scene or whether that was true to the movie or not, doesn't matter. Yeah. What matters was it was true to what was in your mind.
Right. And you do this at your shows.
Absolutely.
And you have a show coming up.
I do. I have a show coming
Coincidentally,
up. I do.
Yeah. This is the reason why I wanted you on the show. Number one was because magic is mystical. Magic to me is fascinating. And what you just, I'm sure I'm not the only one. You just blew my mind by writing and drawing that diamond ring on the pad there. July 15th.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the show coming up.
Well, Brainstorm, it's called Brainstorm, an evening of magic and mind reading with myself, and I have a special guest. His name is Bill Irwin. He's a student of magic as well. He's got a lifetime of magical achievements under his belt. He's been the past president of the Texas Association of Magicians. If you didn't know that exists. The International Brotherhood of Magicians and the Society of American Magicians, and he's really left his mark on the magic community. So he's going to be opening for me as my special guest, and we actually have a special offer for the listeners who want to come out to the July 15th performance at the Far Best Theater in historic downtown Mansfield. Yeah. If you use the promo code AMPOD, that's About Mansfield Pod.
AM Pod.
Yep. Capital A, capital M, capital P, capital O, capital D. AM Pod, you will get 50% off your entire ticket purchase order. And
two for one.
Absolutely. Or bring the whole family. It is an adult intellect show, meaning if you have young kids, show them some YouTube of magic. If they seem like they're interested, bring them. If they don't worry about it. I say that because this is a magic show like no other. It is for the child in us all. Yeah. My hope is to reawaken the child in every adult that shows up. So if you go to brainstormshow.com and use the code AMPOD when you check out on the Eventbrite link, you'll see July 15th. Click that. Go in there, select your tickets. There'll be a promo code spot. Put in AMPOD. You get 50% off your entire purchase at brainstormshow.com. We'd love to have you out at 7 o'clock, July 15th at the Far Best Theater in downtown Mansfield.
And for those that were playing along with the pick an image, pick a movie scene, I'd love to have your feedback if you want to send me an email at info@aboutmansfield.com and want to know what object, what you were thinking about, and then what movie scene you were thinking about. And was Braden reading your mind? Right?
Absolutely. We want to know. I'd like to know. I would love to know. And that's something that was, as I study mind reading over at least American mind reading, there was a mind reader named Dunninger who was on the radio in the 1950s, and he would have these, what he would call brain busters. Yeah. And he would have the folks in the audience who are listening send in what they were thinking, and the next week they would reveal it on air. So I would absolutely love to hear all of the Mansfielders' thoughts on what's happening.
Mansfieldians'
yes. Thoughts on what's happening.
So again, that's July 15th, 7 p.m. at the Far Best Theater right there on Main Street in historic downtown Mansfield. It's Brainstorm, Magic, and
Mind reading. Again, email your results of your thoughts and your film scene,
info@aboutmansfield.com. And again, 2-for-1 tickets on your website. Go ahead and give that website again.
Brainstormshow.com.
brainstormshow.com. And again, put in those letters, AM Pod, AMPOD, all capital letters. Braden, we'll see you on July 15th. I will be in the audience.
I love it. I would love to have you out. I'm looking forward to it, Steve.
Thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Thank you.
Coming up next week on About Mansfield, we will talk in studio with yet another fine Mansfield citizen. You just have to tune in to find out who it is. As always, this is the place where you will hear the latest Mansfield news, sports, and conversation. Until then, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, share, love, or support this podcast if you haven't already, so you never miss an episode. It's free and it's easy. Head on over to our website, aboutmansfield.com, and enter your email address right there on the homepage. We will never send you any spam. We promise. This podcast is copyrighted by Podcast Mansfield Recording Studio for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this podcast without written consent is prohibited. We thank you all for listening. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Steve Casillo, and this is About Mansfield.